Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of Feng Shui Living. It's going to be a really fun episode. You know, I'm all about giving you easy, actionable tips that you can implement like now, tonight, today, when you go home. And today is going to be exceptionally good as I'm answering your questions. Welcome to Feng Shui Living, a podcast for busy women looking to de-stress and live with more intention. I'm Lisa Morton, and I'm passionate about helping you create a home that not only inspires you, but empowers you. Years ago, I was severely struggling with my mental health and wellness, and while I'd implemented yoga, meditation, therapy, and more, I just could not find that missing piece of the puzzle. And that was until I explored my home. You see, the interior designer in me had made it beautiful, but it wasn't supporting me energetically. Fast forward, and I've now been in the interior design industry for 20 years, and I've devoted the past 10 years to Feng Shui and a holistic design approach. In this podcast, I'll be sharing with you interviews, stories, and knowledge, as well as some super easy, simple tips that you can take on today. If you're looking to be more intentional and create a life and home that you love, then you're in the right place. Well, hello there, and welcome to today's episode of Feng Shui Living. I'm so excited because I reached out to my private Facebook community and said, what do you want to know? What can I answer for you about Feng Shui, holistic design, energy in our homes, interior design? What do you want to know? What can I answer? And I picked 5 questions from those submissions. So we're going to dive in today, and I think you're going to find this fun. I think your eyes may be opened. P.S. If you want to join my private Facebook community, it's a totally free group. We have a lot of fun. We just share all about this kind of stuff. It's always the first people to learn about my offerings, my sales, my discounts, my courses, all that good stuff. So I will put a link in the show notes if you want to join the community. We'd love to have you. So let's jump in with question number 1. So this was from Allison. So Allison was asking about bedrooms. So she had some specific question about, she was talking about this is in this direction, this is in that direction. What do I need to know for my bedroom? Here's the thing. Don't stress over my bed is in the north corner, my closet's in the south corner. Don't stress over that, okay? Let's just look at the bedroom as it is. Just a simple room, okay? And I say simple, but it's also not. It's also a very impactful space, so we need to make sure it's aligned. So I picked out some of my favorite tips for the bedroom. If you want to go deeper, I do have an episode specifically dedicated to the bedroom. It's Bedroom Feng Shui, 6 tips for serene sleep. So if you're struggling with sleep, I get into a lot of that as well. So here's one thing I want you to think about when arranging your bedroom. This may be my number 1 tip here. Always ensure that when you're sleeping, that you're in what we call the command position. In Feng Shui, we have this command position. I think I talked about this recently on the pet episode too. We want our pets to be in the command position, but we also need to be in that command position when we're doing anything important, when we're trying to rest and relax and sleep, when we're trying to work, when you're trying to cook all kinds of food at the kitchen. Like we need to be supported, okay? And in this command position, that means a solid wall behind us for protection, for security, and then an open view in front of us. You always want to ensure your bed is against a solid wall. And then you can see anything. You want to have the door in view, okay? You don't want it opposite the bottom of the bed because this is actually a corpse position is what it's called. You don't want it there. So you want the door off to a side. I come across homes sometimes that have a lot of windows and there's nowhere to put the bed. Literally nowhere to put the bed unless it's in front of a window. And so I have worked on specific instances where we will almost close off the wall. We'll hang heavy draperies, create a bold, solid feeling behind the bed. and make sure you close those blinds. We want to seal this off so it feels extra protective behind you, okay? So if that's you, let me know. I'd love to help you set up this. We really need to ensure if your bed is against a window, we need to get it set up right. So reach out. But put yourself in that command position. Make sure you have a headboard. That's so important. And I've talked about this before. You don't have to go buy this elaborate, huge headboard. Get creative. I think I talked in an episode where years ago, I created I made my own headboard. I got some wood, I got some fabric, I got some batting and made it all look all tufted, and it was really great. You can get creative. I have a girlfriend that I believe they made a headboard out of a table or something they used at their wedding. So what a cool thing. Get creative. You don't have to just invest money in a headboard, okay? But I want something solid behind your bed, behind your head, okay? Make sure, again, you have a view of the doors off to one of the sides. Also ensure you don't have a view into the bathroom. And that's in my home, that's the way it is. Where my bed is, I have a view directly down into the bathroom. So, I can't move the door. I don't want to remodel the home. So what I do is I close the door. It is 90% closed, just a crack of light so that if I need to get up at night, I can do that without turning on lights and disturbing anyone. But it's mostly closed. So as you're laying there, as you're waking up, you don't look down the hall to see the bathroom. Next, I want to touch on with the bedroom. I keep coming across this. I keep walking in and seeing Pelotons and bikes in bedrooms. I see piles of laundry. I know people tell me that they're sitting in bed working. And this is okay once in a while, but I don't want you to dedicate your bedroom to being a workspace. This is a higher energy space, right? When you're working in it, right? When we're doing things, we're doing tasks, it lifts the energy. And when we need to sleep, we need to bring the energy down. So don't be folding the laundry in your bedroom. Opt for the laundry room. Opt for the living room. I actually just talked to someone and said she folds all the laundry on the kitchen table. That's a great space. Okay, not the bedroom. And please don't work out in your bedroom. Try to find another space. Now, I know if you're in a small apartment, sometimes you have to get creative. Just be mindful that you're not lifting the energy too much, too close to your sleeping area. Something else I want to touch on are photos. It's very common to go into someone's home and see family photos of their children all over their master bedroom, all their extended family. And this is really not the place for all those family photos. This is a place for you and your spouse or your partner. Not all the children, not all the family, okay? That belongs in a more public area of the home. Now, if you remove these from your bedroom, if you're like, oh, that's me, I have all my kids all over the wall, maybe this weekend, experiment. Move them somewhere else. Create a great collage wall somewhere else in your home, and then bring this master bedroom. Make this really significant for you and your partner. And you may just notice there's a little more romance amongst you. So again, keep the photos, the extended family, certainly not in the bedroom. The kids, again, that's a little higher energy, okay? So only you and your partner photos or artwork depicting you and your partner in the bedroom. And then I want to talk about colors. So we always want to have those earthy colors in our bedroom because that helps us calm and relax. The beige, the tan, the brown colors, okay? Also a soft blue, which is really peaceful and calming. Think of a watery, pale, soft, gentle blue, maybe a blue with like a grayish tone to it, okay? Or a soft green. We don't want to go too bright, right? Because that will lift the energy up. But if it's super soft, I'm all about a green in the bedroom. So those are my tips for the bedroom. Again, don't stress over all the directions. I want you to look at the space, okay? And I'm going to get into some of that a little later, but I want you to just look at your bedroom. How can you fix this space? Don't worry about something being black or white in the right space, right or wrong. Just how can we enhance? All right, let's go to our next question. Stephanie asked about storage. So she lives in a small space and was asking if I had any storage tips or hacks. Oh my gosh, of all the years of designing, and I had to get really creative in some spaces. So something I learned, if you love to organize in bins and containers, clear containers are really not the best unless you feel like you really need to see what's inside. Because when we have 10 clear containers, we can see the colors, we can see things inside. And so it can give your body that feeling of a cluttered space, even though it is organized. So I always like solid containers, solid bins for your storage, okay? Go for solid bins. Go for baskets that are kind of tightly woven so you can't see in. Go get fun baskets. There are cute bins. I've seen even the cutest laundry baskets lately. I love to pop into Home Goods to get cute little bins and baskets at an amazing price. I also love storage ottomans. These have saved so many design projects when we need just an extra spot for someone to sit should they come over, or, just an extra little space. But then you can lift the top off or flip it up and there's storage inside. You can store blankets, remotes, whatever you want to store in those storage ottomans. So they're great. Small squares. You can get big rectangles. I even have a giant round storage ottoman at my house and it works beautifully. I also love trunks. If you like to get vintage pieces, find a cool old trunk and you can store things in that. Again, having it closed, having it sealed makes it feel cleaner, especially if you're in a small space. Now, here's something I want you to think about. I really want you to avoid storing anything underneath your bed. If you've listened, again, I think my bedroom feng shui episode gets into this. We really want to avoid storing anything, okay? This can cause a lot of sleepless nights, really. You can just, your mind won't turn off. You won't even realize it, okay? So if you have stuff stored under your bed, I want you to get it out this weekend. I want you to remove it. You're like, where am I going to put all this stuff? Really think, where else can you put this stuff? Does it belong under your bed? And then I want you to look at the stuff that is under your bed and think about the symbolism of that. I had a client a while back that was saving all these clothes. She'd lost all this weight, but was saving these clothes just in case. She had a lot of these clothes too, under her bed. So she's sleeping on this just in case, almost like she was manifesting that she would gain the weight back. You see what I'm saying? So I want you to really think about the symbolism of everything underneath your bed, okay? I don't recommend storing anything under your bed other than maybe an extra blanket for really chilly nights. One other thing I wanted to talk about in storage too is go up in the closet. When I first started my own business back in 2010, I worked part-time for a closet factory, and we designed not just closets, but beautiful pantries with drawers and cabinets and sliders and all these bins and containers. And oh my gosh, it's so cool. Laundry rooms, garages, we did fun things. And one thing that always stuck with me that I learned there is there's so much wasted space in a closet because there's the shelf and then there's all this space up to the top. So add some more shelving. Add some mounts to the ceiling, right? Get creative and use that space going up. Yeah, you may not be able to access it every day. You may have to get the ladder, but store off-season clothing there. Store things you don't need every day. Maybe gift wrapping at the holiday time goes up in the very top, okay? So think about going up in your closets. All right, thank you, Steph, for that great question. Let's go to number 3. Anne asked if there were any common feng shui mistakes that I often find in people's homes. Yes, ma'am. And if you follow me on Instagram, I'm at Pure Living with Lisa Morton. I made a reel about this, and it's the toilet lid being up, okay? We want to avoid the toilet lid being up when it's not in use. So when you're done with the toilet lid, when the toilet close the lid. We want the toilet lid to be in the down position when not in use. We want to ensure that the first thing someone sees as you enter the bathroom is something beautiful and not down in the toilet, right? That's not very nice. That's not good feng shui either. So direct your eyes to something amazing in your bathroom and close that toilet lid. Here's something I did with a client years ago who had 3 boys who we were really concerned about if they were going to start this new habit. And she got some really bright Post-its and would put a Post-it on the inside of the lid to close the toilet lid. And she'd change the color every couple days to kind of wake them up to so they would see it. They wouldn't get used to it. So that really helped. I also, years ago, I designed a yoga studio, and it was more of a commercial space, but it did have the type of lids with the type of toilets with the lids. And so we put a little sign on the back of the toilet, please close the lid for good feng shui. People kind of chuckle, they think it's cute, but they close the lid, and that is what matters, my friends. Okay, so here's another thing. I just worked with a friend on a space where she's working, and she was concerned about the reception desk is directly next to a bathroom with one of those commercial toilets that don't have a lid. So I told her, I'm like, you got to close that door. This is not only the reception area where she's sitting all day, but it's also the area where they collect money. People make payments, people schedule appointments, and there's this direct view, not even just into the bathroom, but of the toilet. So we want to avoid that. Okay. That was my big toilet kick. But also another thing, we're going to go back to bedrooms. Mirrors and televisions in the bedroom. I'm going to be working on this forever. I know people sometimes fight me on this, but they always end up calling me back, hey, I'm sleeping amazing. So remove any mirrors and any televisions from your bedroom. If you do want to keep a television, make sure it's in a closed cabinet or some way you can close, you don't have to see it, okay? We don't want any televisions or any mirrors in the bedroom. So those are the 3 things: the toilet lids, the mirrors, and the TVs in the bedrooms. Thank you, Anne, for the question. Next, we have one from Nikki, and she asked about feng shui for the garden. And oh my gosh, it's that time of year. I just actually started some tomato seeds. I'm probably a little late, but better late than never. There's nothing better than tomato. I love a tomato Sammy in the summertime. Oh my gosh, so delicious. So what I've done in my gardens in the past, I don't have a big garden now, but what I've done in the past are a couple things. One, when we apply the bagua, so you may not have maybe an entry to your garden, and that's okay. We can apply the bagua similar, like if we're looking at a car, right? The centermost area of your garden is connected to health, and that is the most important area that you can love on. So maybe plant your favorite thing here. Maybe make sure this area is weeded first, right? And then expand out. Really love on that centermost area of your garden. Maybe you want to have like a cute windmill or something fun in there to enhance it. You can also bury some stones, bury some crystals. I've used amethyst before. It transmutes energy from negative to more positive. So if something's kind of struggling, it's going to help it along. Also, black tourmaline for protection from critters that might want to eat it. Smoky quartz. And I also like clear quartz. So clear quartz is an amplifier, right? So if you have a garden that's already thriving, add some clear quartz. Those tomatoes are going to be even bigger than you can imagine. And call me, I'll be over to sample some. So that's my quick tips for the garden. And then someone else asked about a home podcast studio. So this is really fun. This really connects to, you can get a lot of information about a podcast studio in my home office episode. It was Balanced Office Bliss, 3 Pillars to a Successful Workspace. I loved this episode. This episode went over great. I think I shared some really good things in there. We get into ergonomics, all kinds of stuff. So go check out that episode. But again, that command position is so important for you to have that solid wall behind you. Okay. And then anything open in front. So you may have a wall in front of you, but you want that solid behind. You're going to have a workspace here right in front, like I kind of do here. EMFs, those electromagnetic frequencies, can be pretty high in a podcast studio space. You're dealing with tons of electrical, computers, Wi-Fi signals, lighting. Oh my gosh. So I use a lot of stones when I'm working. I bring stones with me to the studio. I also love any type of plant. If you can bring a plant into the studio. Now, you may not have natural light in there. You may have to take the plant out, but bring it in with you. It'll feel nice as you're recording also. Another thing is to help mitigate this EMF issue is really getting grounded. Connect to that earth element in your studio. So that may even mean maybe not what you're wearing or what it's decorated like, but putting things around you. Maybe you want to grab a brown throw to put on the back of your chair, that brown earthy color. Maybe you want to have rocks and crystals in front of you to connect to the earth, not just for the EMFs, but just to connect to that earth element. Okay. So think about how you can connect to the earth element in your space. Oh, one more thing is blue. I made a note. Blue is a great color if you're struggling maybe with your words, or if you're struggling to get creative as you're chatting or with your ideas. So blue is a water element of this 5-element system, right? We talked a lot about earth. Water is another big element. So water brings this fluid, watery vibe. This is great if you're creative. This is great if you're feeling stuck. And so if you're getting stuck with your words, your brain's not working, you just need to let things flow, then bring in blue. I actually have, and this is a studio space I use. I did not design or set the space up, but there is a blue curtain, sound absorbing curtain behind my screen. So it works out pretty well. All right, friends, those are my 5 Q&As. If you have a question for me, of course, reach out. I'd love to have you join the Good She Club. That's my private Facebook group. I'll put a link in the show notes. Again, it is the Good She, spelled CHI, Club on Facebook. And this is where you can submit your questions and I will answer them. And I will see you guys all next time. You take care. Special thanks to our production company, Influencer.tv, the WELT 95.7 studios, and our sponsor, Good She. For more information, head over to the show notes. Be sure to hit the like button, hit subscribe, and give us a 5-star review. I'll see you next time.